Hiya, right, KTRT reviews. I haven't been doing many of them lately. The staple of my channel, Korean Transforming Robot Toys, and obviously this year I've got off to a slow start with them. There are a number of reasons for this, and I'm kind of behind on my KTRT reviews because, I've still got that thing to review. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do it yet. But that aside, this month I have bought 2 KTRT bots. Well, actually I've bought 3, but the third one, if I review it later this month when it arrives, or I'll probably mention what happened. It was kind of a mistake buying it, but we'll go into that at the when I'm doing my end of month bot haul. But getting on to the task at hand. Hello Carbots. Now, Hello Carbots, my, would you say, love affair with Korean Transforming Robot Toys started with this guy. Hello Carbot Starex Dandy. Now, I saw him on the show, fell in love with him, bought the toy, absolutely love it to bits, and it's one, if you go back through my videos, it's one of the, out of all the KTRT bots review, this guy has got more views than most of the others put together. So yeah, there's him, the King of Kibble, and I've been branching out into other brands, but I've still been fairly faithful to the Hello Carbot brand until lately, because just lately they've been going off the boil a little bit. I mean, the reason I liked Hello Carbots in the first place is because the toys they did were scale models of real world vehicles. They were licensed scale models of real world cars, most notably Hyundai vehicles. But as the series have gone on, they've moved away from that. They've been bringing in fictitious vehicles, and like I said, they're still uploading episodes of season 4 onto YouTube, and now they're talking about season 5. There's a whole new raft of new characters introduced for season 5, and not one of them is based on a real vehicle. They're all like fictitious, made-up things. There's this big drilling thing, and there's a big ugly red dump truck, and they're mainly going with these copolymer combiners. And they don't really work for me, these copolymer combiners. I prefer combiners to have, the limbots have individual robot modes and then they combine together to form a bigger bot, as per Transformers. But anyway, Sonocon seem to be it's just a cash cow now. It's just every year, new series, new characters. You hardly ever see any of the older characters being shown in the new series. Now they've got a whole wealth of characters they've introduced previously. There's a few characters that sort of follow on through. It's mostly the beast bots like Ghost Chaser True, Ugabar, and Gold Rex. They got repaints in the last series in season 4 into alternative modes. But the other characters, the original 6 characters from the first season, you hardly ever see them. Anyway, so I've gone off the Hello Carbot line a little bit, but just lately they've released some more of these micro figures. Now, I've got a couple of them already. One of them I've got, which I've done a review on, is Ambulance Dandy. Now, obviously I like Dandy. I bought it because it was a representation of Dandy. Big problem with it, lack of paint, as you can probably see. It's moulded in white plastic. I mean, yeah, the vehicle mode's got plenty of paint on it, but the robot mode, not so much. They also tend to suffer from loose joints, especially on the hips. Very small ball joints, prone to wear and tear, and they're usually loose when you get them out of the packet. So I got him, and just lately I noticed they've reinforced the line with some extra figures, and I thought, oh, they look good. And they've bought out the original version of Dandy and Storm, the big blue truck from the Truck Combiner. So I quite like the look of them, so I've bought them both, and that is the nature of today's review. So let's start with Dandy. Now, first of all, show you the box. Now they come in these little boxes, and I love the fact they come in these boxes because they remind me of Matchbox cars that I used to collect in the 1970s. They used to come in little boxes like these. You go uptown, you pay, I don't know, 50-60 pence or whatever it was, and then you come and you collect them, and they do a whole wealth of cars. Nice box. It's got artwork on all sides. They come wrapped in a plastic bag, and on the inside you can probably see you've got the transformation instructions printed on the inside, so you open the box out and there's your transformation instructions. Not that you really need them for these toys because they're quite simple to transform, but I love the fact they come in these little Matchbox-esque style cartons, these boxes. I love that. So there's Dandy's box, and here he is. Now obviously he's a Hyundai Starex or i80, i800 or whatever they're called in Europe. It's a panel van. Obviously it's got windows in it, so it's like a minibus type thing. It's got paint apps on the front, silver Hyundai badge, black lights, black grille. It's got black wheels. It's got smoked windows all the way around, black lights on the back, Hyundai badge. Yeah, so it's a good little van. Now, do a size comparison with the big one. There's the full size toy. Now, as you can see, he's a lot smaller. Now, they do actually come, they are scale models, and if you look on here, it says, probably don't know if you can see that because obviously my camera hasn't got a macro, 1/64th scale. So this is a 1/64th scale of a real world van. This one was about a 1/22nd scale or something like that. Anyway, the only difference between the two is, well, the main one is, you can see on this one, it's got like the skirt is painted black, and they haven't painted it on this one. Also, it's got red lights in the back. But apart from that, that's the only major difference. Transforming this guy is pretty easy. It's virtually the same as the transformation for this guy. So you pull that out, separate the legs, like so, split that, pull them back on the links, and then you have these bits here which unpeg from the arms and move up, unpeg from the arms and move up, pull them round, and there we have Micro Starex Dandy in his robot mode. Now obviously he's got his weapon pegged on the inside of his arms, which is an axe, which will go in his fists because there's like a 3mm peg. And there we go. Now I'll do a quick comparison with the other one. Now this one obviously has got a lot more kibble going on because the top part of the ambulance, it's got like a high roof on it with the lights and sirens and stuff on. So they had to make allowances for that. So it's got these bits on the side here that are like the extra kibble. Also, because this is the ambulance mode, it's got the alternative head sculpt to the original one. Because in the show, when these guys they change their colours into the emergency vehicle modes, they actually get their head sculpt changes, which I think is kind of unusual. And I much prefer the original head sculpts to the emergency vehicle ones. Anyway, here he is. A lot of transparent plastic used on this guy, as you can probably see. I mean, these are all transparent. His arms are transparent. The legs are transparent. Torso is just a sea of white plastic again. No paint apps. Let's just quickly transform the big one. Right, so there's the big Dandy, and there's the little one. Now you can see my biggest gripe with these micro figures is the lack of paint on the robot mode. I mean, look how colourful this guy is. I mean, he's got all that yellow and orange and black and green going on. This guy, all you've got is the orange on these wings. They've painted the head, but you look at it up close, it's so sloppily applied. It's just not funny. Yeah. So there is that. He is proportion wise. Obviously, his legs are a bit shorter because the transformation. They've just basically took the back ends of the vans and turned them into legs. So he hasn't quite got the same proportions as the original. And another thing he hasn't got, Big Dandy has got these bits here that stick out the back. This guy hasn't got that. Just an empty shell for the bonnet section as it folds over his back. But still, it's a decent rendition, mini rendition of Dandy, and it's just a shame. Paint wise, they just don't bother to paint the robot modes. I am, and I've said this so many times before, but I haven't actually done it. I've been meaning to customise these and paint them up into show accurate colours, but I've never actually got round to it. So if you hear me say, oh, I'm going to do a custom repaint on this, just call me a lying bastard, because I just can't be bothered to do any of it. But anyway, so articulation, nothing on the head. The arms are solid arms with a ball joint. It's on this butterfly joint which goes in and out. Doesn't go out, goes all the way round. You can sort of bring it round like that. So it's got a decent amount of range. Moving down, nothing at the waist. It's got ball jointed hips. It's got knees which don't, well, only go to about 45 degrees. Nothing on the feet. Very loose. That's part of the course for these things. They have loose joints, which is a shame. A little bit more quality control, and you know they'd be fantastic. A little bit more paint, and they'd be fantastic toys. It's just minor gripes, I suppose, because they are really little things, like legend scale things. But yeah, so there's that size comparison. Areas next to Legends Bombshell, so it's a little bit smaller. So that's that guy. That's the Starex Dandy. Then there's Storm. Now, there's Storm's box. Again, he comes in a nice little Matchbox style cardboard box. And here he is. Now, this guy is really good. I really like this guy. His alt mode is virtually perfect. It's got painted grille on the front, some black details. It's got the Xcient Trago logo tamper-graphed on each side. It's got lots of nice pinned rolly wheels. And detail-wise, it's fantastic. I mean, here's the big one. And you can see size comparison with the big chap. Now, they transformation-wise, they've taken a few liberties with the transformation because it's a smaller scale, and this guy doesn't need to transform as a combiner bot, so that have limbs attached to him to turn him into a combiner. But as a result of that, his robot mode is actually quite surprising. Now, transformation, pull these legs out, and then you flatten the feet. You've got the arms in the back. Bring the arms up. You then fold out the shoulder pieces, turn him round. You then got to bring the back of the cab, hinge the back of the cab backwards, and then these grey shoulder pieces, there's little pegging ports in the side of the torso where they peg in. And there we go, there is Storm in his robot mode. And I really like this. Yes, it hasn't got much in the way of paint. I mean, he's got some little red bits there, some little red bits on the arms. They've painted a bit of his head, but not too much. The rest of it is all blue and grey plastic and a bit of black. But because he has these 3 different colours of plastic, it does actually work to break up the robot and make it look more like a cohesive robot. And so yeah, now obviously they've taken some liberties with the transformation. Let me just transform the big one quickly so I can show you what I mean. Right, so there is Storm in his robot mode. His core robot mode, because obviously he has 2 different versions of his robot mode, because he's the combiner part. He's the torso part for the Pentastorm combiner. And there's little mini Storm. Now, as you can, again, massive great size difference. This guy hasn't got a scale on his toy mode on the box. They don't tell you what scale this guy is, but this guy does have a scale. And according to the box, I don't know if you can see it, it says it's 110th scale. So this guy is 1, 2, almost 3 times bigger. Now you can see how much paint this guy's got him. He's got lots of blinging chrome. He's got the red. He's got the silver and the yellow. And on this guy, as you can see, his torso, nothing in the way of paint. They have like done them little red bits on the legs, little red bits on the arms, and the head sculpt on this guy, as you can see, it's mostly white, blue and red with a bit of yellow. And yet you look at this one, it's got yellow and then sort of blue, black and silver. So they haven't quite painted the head properly. But again, it's a decent little bot though. I mean, transformation wise, the wheels here on this version are actually, they fold into there. And if you look at the top, you can see like it hasn't got the wheels up here, but it's got them up there. It's just a small thing they had to do to make the transformation work on this guy. But he's really decent. I like him, and he's quite big actually. He's bigger than Dandy. When you put him next to Dandy, and he's quite a bit bigger. I mean, this guy, these are like legend scale size, but this guy is scout class. Put him next to Thingy, and he's slightly bigger than Bombshell. Articulation, you've got the shoulders on there, got the arm that folds out, there's no elbows, the head doesn't move, it's fixed in position, no waist joints, hips go all the way out, and as you can see, floppy hips, no thigh swivels, but the knees will go back all the way as part of the transformation. But given the way this thing's engineered, he actually looks better in robot mode in terms of his proportions and aesthetic than Storm does, because Storm has some problems. The main one being he's got these chrome bits sort of in between these massive, he's got these massive great shoulders, he's got these fairly weedy arms, and he's got these huge great chrome spaces that space the shoulders out from his chest, and it's kind of unusual proportion. He looks better when he's in the combined mode because, you know, it gets changed out a little bit, but in this mode he looks kind of odd. But this one works a lot better in terms of, you know, the positioning of the shoulders and the arms and stuff. The arms are a bit thicker. The shoulders, even though it's basically the same design, it's got the spacer piece. The shoulders are huge and spaced out. It just looks better on this guy than it does on the other one. So yeah, Storm is actually surprisingly good. Again, loose joints and lack of paint is the things that I can moan about. But that's just par for the course for these. If you're looking into buying these little mini Carbot figures, that's what you have to put up with. They have done pretty much all the characters from season 1 now, and a couple of characters from season 2. They're all right. They're pretty good. I don't know whether I'm going to buy any more of them. I've sort of okay with the ones I've got for now, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see if they bring out, you know, Gold Rex in the mini form, or True Ghost Tracer True. I'd love to have like a little mini True. But yeah, so that's that. Hope you've enjoyed this review, such as it is. I felt I had to do something this weekend. Yeah, it's been pretty rough. Well, I wouldn't say rough. I mean, there hasn't really been much in the way of KTRT bots that I want to buy. I'm going to have to look back at the figures that I sort of passed on last year because of reasons, and you know, start getting through the backlog of characters that I haven't bought. But with that said, that's the end of this review. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da.